everything that you accomplish at a meetup is nothing without the follow-up.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how valuable are meetups, but how much do you hate meetups?
Value is 10, and also hatred is 10.
Okay, so yes, meetups are super, super important. My wife does not go to all of the ones that I host. Actually, she rarely goes. And with her not going to as many meetups, she has a few tactical tips to make the best out of meetups. And then I will share my favorite tip for meetups at the very end.
It's not you, it's me. I have a very limited social battery. Where are we going, babe?
Property tour! And honestly, if you're going to try and do full-time real estate investing, whatever your timeline is, you have to have something that is active that replaces your income because you still have to put food on the table.
True, because long-term rentals in Columbus, Ohio won't do it.
A handful don't. You're probably gonna need 20 fully paid off. Anyways, okay, but we're talking about meetups. You go to some of the meetups really just to socialize for 30 minutes, get a couple free drinks. But you went to a meetup. It's been a while since you stayed at a meetup for a second. Why did you go?
Well, you told me to.
Okay. Was there any inherent value for you, babe?
My personal feelings about meetup is that they are exhausting AF, but imperative if you are trying to build something. Essential.
Yeah, I think no matter what you're trying to do, whether it be in person or virtually, you have to get yourself in a room around people who are doing the thing as much as possible.
Yes.
I think the whole mindset thing, but it is a mindset thing. Once you figure out other people are doing it and getting a nugget here and there of how they're actually doing it, you can apply it to your own business.
Yes, it's important to be around the people that are doing the things that you want to be doing, but also it's that building relationships and your network out that I think has been the most crucial factor that has moved the needle in what you've been trying to accomplish.
I'll also add that going in person, I'm horrible at faces and names, and especially if you're only seeing someone virtually, it makes it harder to remember their face and name. But if you go in person, you increase the likelihood that you're able to add some type of connection, add the atmosphere around you to get them to remember you, so that if you're meeting an agent, a wholesaler, another flipper who you want to collaborate with, you can stand out that much more. All right, so babe, I want 5 tips to help make meetups easier for you and more productive.
Ooh, love that. All right, number 1, this is my tip, my first thought, because of how I feel not being a passive participant of meetup and not someone that's fully jumped in. And this is one of the biggest takeaways that I have, is that when you go to a meetup, make sure that you are trying to make genuine connections with people. Yes, I know that there are things that you're trying to get out of it, but people can feel if you do not care about the things that you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, so let me add to that. I'm more active in real estate than she is.
Yes.
So I guess oftentimes you feel imposter syndrome then when you go?
It's not imposter syndrome. Like, what I'm saying is that I don't really feel I provide any value when I go to these meetups. So I'm just more there to ask questions. And I'm bringing this up because I remember specifically from one of the meetups that we attended, there was a person that came up to me, and as soon as they could tell that I didn't really have that much to offer them, they were so zoned out of the conversation and was immediately looking around, and you can just feel that energy, that disingenuous energy. And I will always remember it, and people remember that. People can feel that, and that's why I wanted to bring that up as my first point.
Okay, it makes total sense. So then to expand on that, in order to not have someone or not make someone feel that way, the easiest thing you can do is just genuinely try and figure out how you can help them or what they're looking for, and that way you can always just keep it in the back of your mind. And then at that point you can continue on, hey, great to meet you. If I find whatever that criteria was, I'll make sure to introduce you, and then you could exchange contacts if you want or not. My second tip is, regardless of wherever you are in your real estate journey, I think just own it. If you have never done a deal before, say that, and when someone's asking you, just say, hey, I may not be able to contribute something right now, but what I'm looking for is to meet someone who's done their first deal. And that way, at least, you give that other person an easy out too. For my wife, as you come to these meetups, babe, you do so much in terms of Airbnb management now, which everyone has a million questions on. And you've also wholesaled in the past. So while you may not be as active as me, you are still a very essential part to this real estate business that we're building. And I would just lean on that portion and have that be the base of the conversation, and then go back to just how else you can introduce them to you.
That's true. It's really hard to live in your shadow. What that boils down to, I think, is that think about the thing that you can contribute and add value to. So whether or not you've done a deal, or whether you've done the most deals in the room, if you did, then you shouldn't be in that room. But I would say think about the things that you can provide. So is it, being a good researcher? Is it being, I don't know, whatever quality I think it is, have that, own that, and bring that to the table, or have that ready to bring to the table. Let's summarize. I think first one is be genuinely curious with each person that you're having a conversation with. Number 2, be prepared with some sort of value add, whether or not you've done a deal, but what are your strengths? Think about the strengths that you have. And this requires a little bit of self-awareness. Think about the strengths that you have and the things that you can provide in a potential partnership, whether that be money or your skill set. Number 3 is bring that genuine curiosity, but don't be trying to constantly pitch yourself. Even though we are trying to sell something, like there's something that we want when we go to a meetup, but people can really feel that too, is that if you are trying to pitch something, don't be just constantly trying to sell something when you go to a meetup. People don't like that either. It's an ick.
That's right. The first question I said earlier in the video is figure out what their goals are and what they're looking for. Like what brings them to that meetup, and you can start and hone it.
Okay, but on that note, do have an elevator pitch. I would say have a quick, like 1 or 2 sentence about what your agenda is. So that way it comes out more polished, because like the first time you do an elevator pitch should not be with the people that you're pitching to. Practice that out loud, make it sound really natural and genuine.
All right, and then let's put that into practice. Dave, what's your elevator pitch?
Oh, not right now. No, I don't have an elevator pitch.
Damn, give it tips, but I don't even have anything.
No, I know. I'll have to think about it. I'll get back to you on that one.
All right, so our elevator pitch is 2 different ways that we help other people start investing completely passively. The first is through multi-family syndications. If you want to invest in markets like Dallas and really stable assets, we have syndicated an apartment in Dallas. The second is that we are starting to flip in the Bay Area, and we're open to partnering or having private lenders on that. So if you want a project you can actually touch and look at, come ride with us and check out a flip that we're going to do.
I have an elevator pitch. All right, ready for it? Have you met my husband, Joshua Baldovino? He does everything. That's my elevator pitch. That's what I bring to the table. And then to wrap it all up, everything that you accomplish at a meetup is nothing without the follow-up. So make sure that whatever connections that you've made, get their contact information, DM them, email them, and just make sure that you follow up with those people that you want to continue to have a relationship with.
Okay, what is the tactical follow-up?
Get their Instagram handle and DM them, and then get them on your podcast.
So immediately, there's a couple things that I do. So for example, I meet someone, I try and take a picture with them and I send it to them and I say, hey, we took a picture together, here's my contact, great to meet you. And then at that point too, what I'll also do is I will screenshot that, and from there, I have these photos inside my photo library to know to add to a certain portion of my CRM. So then I can tag the VA and say, hey, can you add these 4 contacts with wholesalers as investors? And that way it makes it easier for me to send it to them to be able to do the follow-up, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. Or you could be the one. But a lot of times you'll exchange someone's phone information, and now Sam Smith, who you just met, will get mixed up with a bunch of Sam Smiths. And how do you remember which Sam is Sam?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's just because I lost a lot of people's contacts in my contacts. Okay, my last favorite tip. You want to guess what it is?
Bring a camera.
Yes, that's my last favorite tip, and it's the hardest one of them all, is sit in the office.
Ooh, that's a good one. Tell me more.
Even I feel awkward and nervous, and I've now I go to at least a handful of meetups every single month. But when you are entering a new group that's already talking, you go in there. Sometimes you'll just sit in the awkward. Or if you can't just stand there and awkwardly stand next to them, just say, ooh, I'm just here to listen. And then you can wait for something that relates to you, or that you can add value to the conversation or add a question, and then that's how you can insert yourself into the conversation. But just know that everybody feels awkward in those moments, and it's okay.
That is such a good one. Yeah, I remember like the first couple, like even the first meetup that you ever ran at Big Owls, I remember just joining random groups of people talking and saying, ooh, can I join you guys? And no one's gonna say no. Like you're at a meetup and you're there to meet people. Jumping in and asking questions, I think is always the best way to include yourself in the conversation. Love that.
And just know that like when you go to a meetup, it's going to take a few meetups for you to even actually start to build relationships with whoever's hosting the meetup, with the attendees of the meetup. And you can expedite that process by actually following up and scheduling things outside of the meetup. Whether it be coffee chats, grabbing drinks, doing something, walking projects. But the power is in the follow-up, and just initial intros happen in the meetup. Anyway, to close this out, if you want to attend any of our meetups, we host them every single second Wednesday of the month in the Bay Area. I will leave that all linked in the description down below. Again, my name is Josh Baldovino. This is my beautiful wife, Hannah. And if you want to connect with us, I'll leave all that contact down below. But if you want to find more information about what we're doing or see what other deals we're working on, make sure to subscribe. And please actually like this and subscribe, because these videos do take a lot of effort. And we're going to go walk a potential flip in San Jose. So if you want to see more about that story too, make sure to click this video right here. See you there.
Oh my gosh, you're so good. You're such a natural.
It's not natural.
Yeah, I know, it's not natural.
It is not natural. This
You've
is 300
practiced.
videos.
Yes, good. That is a good